The Sony A9F was best known for having a great picture and sound, but a pretty polarizing pedestal design. Well, the A9G's here now, and the kickstand's gone, and we're going to show you what else changed right now. Hi, I'm Carl with Apt, and this is the Sony XBR A9G, the newest OLED in Sony's Master Series lineup. And thankfully, they've maintained the best parts of last year's set, the picture and the sound. The design's actually closer to the A8F with that flat-footed pedestal, and shallower than the A9F by almost 2 inches because of it, which is great for anyone looking to mount this TV on the wall. Now I will say, it still leans back a little on its pedestal, but it's not nearly as prominent as it was with that kickstand on the A9F. And it's a lot easier to move if you ever need to. Feature-wise, the A9G is not radically different than the A9F, but Sony did make some improvements that are worth noting. For starters, you can get the A9G in a 77-inch size. The largest for the A9F was 65 inches, so you do get that larger option for anyone looking to go bigger. Next, the remote. Sony's been including remotes with their flagship TVs that look almost identical to their entry-level models for a long time now. This new one is so much better. The buttons themselves didn't really change all that much, but now you get one labeled DVR that can access your cable or satellite recordings on compatible devices, and it loses the wide button. It's got metal on the front, it's super slim, and it just has a more premium feel. Now, another small detail that was changed was in the speaker connection on the back. The A9F had screw-down connectors for using the acoustic glass as your center channel. The A9G uses spring clip connectors that unfortunately feel cheaper, but they're way easier to use. Input lag was improved too, albeit only slightly. From our tests on 1080p at 60 Hz, the A9F with game mode turned on was getting 27.3 milliseconds. On the A9G, we were getting a slightly better time of 26.4, so yes, technically an improvement, but still not the best times we've seen in our testing this year. Finally, the speaker configuration's a little different. Because the kickstand's gone, they had to make some adjustments. It still sounds great, but there's no more dedicated center channel. And you still get 2 subs, but now it's 2.2 channels instead of the 3.2 that you got with the A9F. And then there's the picture. What you get with the A9G is still phenomenal. You're still getting all the best of what Sony has to offer with a triluminous display, the X1 Ultimate processor, super bit mapping, and object-based HDR remaster to go along with HDR10, HLG, and Dolby Vision compatibility. And you still get several pre-calibrated modes to choose from, like Netflix and Dolby Vision Bright and Dark. Motion was still really good too, and now there's an auto mode that helps determine the best motion settings for what you're watching, which I found to work really well. Contrast is obviously great with a very impressive amount of detail in the brights and darks, and no banding to speak of either. Now, is it worth trading in your A9F for? No. Unfortunately, you're still not getting HDMI 2.1, but you still do get an eARC that can pass through Atmos, and they didn't make any huge improvements to the picture, although they really didn't have to. And this wouldn't be the first TV I'd recommend to gamers either, since 1, it's still OLED and carries that slight risk of burn-in if you're not careful, and 2, the input lag times were not as good as what we've seen on some less expensive TVs that also have really nice pictures. But if you watch a lot of movies or sports, or just aren't a big gamer and you don't already have the A9F, I'd highly recommend considering the A9G. The picture quality is one of the best we've seen. It's got that updated Android Oreo operating system that works way more smoothly than previous versions, and the sound's good enough to use on its own. So what do you guys think of the new A9G? Did Sony make the right changes? Make sure you let us know in the comments. And if you want to see our current pricing, the links are all in the description down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to check out all our other TV reviews and comparisons. If you want to stay up to date on all the great products we get here at Apt, make sure to subscribe so you get updated anytime we post new content. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next one.